What up, everybody? It's your boy Slim William Games back with another video. Smash that like button and subscribe button. So I'm here to talk about one of my favorite things that I like to do when nobody's around. You guessed it, VR. All right. So this conversation we're going to have today is about the state of VR. Okay. Now, um, I'm a heavy VR gamer. Um, I have a gaming VR treadmill. I have a bunch of VR video games. I only have one uh, headset, which is the MetaQuest. So I don't have like a ton of different type of headsets. I was thinking about getting the PlayStation VR 2. I wasn't too sure yet. I see a lot of people are selling the PlayStation VR 2s. I don't know why, but that's what's going on. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the state of VR. Now, guys, a lot of content creators, every so often, I'm not going to say every week, but every so often when there's a down period when it comes to VR, they say things like, oh, VR is dying. Oh, VR is VR trash. Is VR just a fad? You know, what's going on with VR, what's the state of VR, should you get into VR. Now, I'm going to break down, in my opinion, why I think they do this. First of all, VR VR gaming is not that many. I'm not going to say it's not that many. It's a bunch of people that's into VR, but it's not where it's 100% like you're not. VR is one of those things where it's not everybody's playing it, right? So, but you still got a good people are playing. Uh, MetaQuest, PlayStation, uh, you you got all these other different type of VR headsets that are out, but Meta is the top tier that's leading in the VR market. They have the most catalogs that you can imagine when it comes to VR gaming, right? When it comes to standalone, when it comes to having a PC to do it, because you got to have a beefy PC to even run these type of VR games. So it is a lot of people doing. It's a lot of people that's in VR, but it's not a lot of people compared to because of the price point. For example, you can buy a PlayStation for what, $400. Get video games for maybe 50, $60, depends on if it's on sale, and you're good to go. You can get an Xbox, which Xbox is dying, by the way, but we'll get to that conversation later. I may do a video on that, why Xbox, in my opinion, is falling to the ground like a rock. Pew! Kapoosh! Falling to the sky, out of the sky. But Xbox. Speaking of Xbox, Xbox Game Pass is what's keeping Xbox alive right now. Their consoles. I'll be honest with you guys. Xbox fell apart when the Xbox One S came out. When the Xbox One S came out, that's when Xbox took a nosedive. Halo's not doing it no more. Their beloved Halo game is not sustaining Xbox anymore like that. But that's a whole nother conversation we're gonna do later. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a whole nother conversation on Xbox and why Xbox is falling like a rock. But back to VR. The level of entry getting into VR is very high. You gotta you're talking about a MetaQuest, right? A MetaQuest has say uh cost around 500. You could get the MetaQuest S version, which is like 300, $400 after taxes, maybe $600 depending on what type of version you get. Now, if you want to just play standalone, but a lot of people like to play PC VR games. That's where you get all the great games, like with the modding and stuff like that, like the Half-Life Alex and other games like that, where you get all the mods and stuff like that, all the cool stuff you see. You will need a beefy PC. That's going to run you between $2,000, maybe $2,500 to even run such a beast of type of VR game that you want to run great at. Because, like, I'm talking about like mainly at 100 if you want to keep high frames. Right now, you probably can get some games with VR that can run on a freaking potato, but you're not going to get that many high end games that's going to run off a computer to your VR headset from just your PC. So you may have to get it with a standalone version, which why the MetaQuest is dominating. But the cost of entry point is very high. A lot of people can't afford to go buy these things, right? So VR is in that space where people are catching on to it, but it's not as nowhere near as the flat games like PlayStation or Xbox or just regular PC games. It's not there yet. Will it get there? Sure. It's gonna take some time because the other problem is when it comes to VR, the games, right? A good bit of the games that are on VR are dedicated to the more of the 13-year-olds, 14, 15-year-olds that play games like Gorilla Tag and other type of stuff. You're not like serious gaming, like as far as contractors and Ghost of Tabora and those heavy, big, heavy games. Yeah, a lot of people play them, but you're talking about people that's in their teens, their 20s, their 30s. You know what I mean? That are that already invested in VR, right? So, in my opinion, why people come, let me just say this: I think VR is great. I think VR is doing great. The real reason why they're making these videos and making such a big deal about VR and saying, "Oh, VR is dying, it's VR this, it's VR that." I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna give you guys the cold truth. In my opinion, this is what I believe. A lot of content creators aren't gonna like me for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. The one problem with VR, most of the video games that are on VR are old. Contractors is old. Uh, the original Contractors is old. Half-Life Alex is old. I mean, and when I say old, these games were made like between what, 2020, 2018, 2017, like Pavlov and games like that, like Pavlov, Gorilla Tag, and Half-Life Alex and Contractors. Now you got Xville Zone, which is gave a boost because a lot of people love to play Xville Zone, right? That Call of Duty style VR game, they like to call it. So a lot of these games, man, are just they're old. People, the people that are watching the content creators play these games are just flat tired and bored of watching the same games over and over. Like how many? Like that's the problem. That's the problem when it comes to VR. The reason why they're making these videos about, oh, VR is dying, is this and this, is because some of these creators, content creators, have ran out of content because they play Contractors, they play Gorilla Tag, they play Half-Life, they ran through the game. So they're looking like, yo, it's nothing left. I need more content. I need more content. And a lot of these VR games are coming on a turtle. They're not coming as fast, as quick as flat screen games. Flat screen games, and what I mean by flat screen games, again, PlayStation, regular PC games, Xbox. You got a ton of library, of Xbox One, I mean Xbox games, because you got Xbox Game Pass. Again, in my opinion, that's why Xbox is staying alive, is because of Xbox Game Pass. If it wasn't for Xbox Game Pass, Xbox would probably be non-existent right now. I'm going to be honest with you. My brother Travis, and my brother Jonathan are probably not going to like what I'm saying right now. Travis, let me know in the comments if you see this, Travis. If Xbox Game Pass wasn't around, would Xbox be as big as it is? In my opinion, it's taking a nosedive. I want my brother Travis to leave a comment and I'm gonna pin it. Okay, but anyway, that's why VR is where it's at right now, is because of the content creators ran through most of the great games that are out there. And they're not going to be playing games that are, well, you got some, because they're starting to catch on to the trend. Okay, I need to go where the views are at. The views are going to these independent games that are for kids. They don't really want to play that. but they're going to do that to get views because they ran out. People are tired of watching, certain people play certain games, right? It is what it is, right? So now you do got the hardcore, dedicated fans that watches certain people, because I watch them too, that watches certain people that plays the same games. It's a girl on YouTube. All she does is play The Sims. She's been playing The Sims since 2000, like 14, 15. And she's been consistent, playing the same Sims games over and over. So she built a cult like following that people are loving and they're sticking to it. They're not going to leave, right? Because she like has over 1 million subscribers and she plays nothing but The Sims. So those type of unless you got that type of diehard fans, of course, you VR content creators are going to keep saying, well, VR is dead and we ain't got nothing to play. No, VR has a lot of content, has a lot of video games, fun video games. I bought a bunch of VR video games that I haven't even dug into yet. But I hear a lot of these VR content creators going, oh, well, the VR gaming industry is dead. Oh, it's slow. It's this, it's that. No, it's because you ran out of content. You ran out. And so, yes, I'm coming out here, Slim Williams, Slim Williams, Slim. I got 2 YouTube channels, Slim the Streamer and Slim William Games. I will leave both. I will leave the other channel below in the comment section. I mean, in the description. But that's the real reason, in my opinion, why people are saying VR is dead. VR is not dead, in my opinion. VR is alive and well. It's a ton of games. If you're looking to get into VR gaming, guys, if you got the extra funds, and you better get it before tariffs hit, I say do it. You know what I mean? Because it's a ton of VR games that are out. Grown, mature games that you can play. Again, I'll go through real quick. Contractors, Metro Awakening, Contractors Elkfield Zone, Ghost of Tabora. You got a ton of video games, guys, that are like VR heavy hitters. I mean, you got Hell Sweep. You got Hitman. You go to get your PSVR 2 and get the new Hitman that is out. You got Pirate VR, Jolly Rogers, Pavlov, Skydance Behemoth, Tactical Assault, Tales of Glory 2. I mean, there's and not Into the Radius 2. You got so many VR games. It's too many to go to. Blade and Sorcery. You got so many VR games that you can just have fun, man. So ignore the haters, ignore the hate. If you want to get into VR, I say get into it. Now, my channel, again, I said it before. My channel is not a dedicated VR channel. I do VR and I do regular PC gaming. I started out doing Grand Theft Auto video games and showing you guys how to download mods and stuff like that. But it's not a strict VR channel. And the reason why I didn't want to make it a strict VR channel because I didn't want to close myself off, so to speak. And I'm only stuck to one genre of video games. I play VR, I play regular flat screen games. So I like to add them in both for both creators to come in. I like to add them for both people who love VR content can watch my VR content, and for those who love regular PC games can watch my regular PC games. I do not have a PS5. Thinking about getting one. I don't have a PS5. I still use Xbox Xbox Game Pass. I still have an account. But let me know what you guys think about this, man. This is an interesting conversation, man. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe button. I would like to know you guys' feedback. Peace.